After about 10,000 hours of coaching, here's the truth I wish someone told me on day one. The hardest part of building a coaching business isn't the drills, it isn't the tactics, and it isn't even the players. It's the people you lead. And I learned that the hard way, because when I first started building my coaching business, I thought the most important thing was becoming a better coach. Better sessions, better drills, better technical detail. But the moment you start bringing other coaches into your environment, everything changes. Your success is no longer determined by the way you coach, it's determined by how well the people around you perform. And that's the shift that changes everything. The realization. When I first started my coaching business, everything ran through me. I planned the sessions, I ran the drills, I corrected every mistake. Every decision came through me. And at the beginning, that actually worked. When you're a small operation, controlling everything feels like the safest way to keep quality as high as possible. But the moment your coaching business starts to grow, that system begins to break. Because if every session depends on you, your business can never grow past you. Every question comes to you. Every problem comes to you. Every decision comes to you. Eventually, one of two things will happen. Either the business stops growing, or you burn out trying to carry everything yourself. And that's the point where I realized something had to change. The big mistake. My biggest mistake early on was thinking leadership meant teaching other coaches to coach exactly like me. Teach them drills, teach them structure, teach them how I communicate. Basically, I thought my job was to clone myself. But that approach quietly breaks coaching businesses, because when everything depends on one person, nothing can scale. Your program becomes limited by your time, your energy, your presence. And that's not leadership, that's dependency. I remember one moment where this hit me clearly. We had a coach running a session and something in the training didn't go exactly how I would have done it. My first instinct was to jump in. Correct everything, take control. But I stopped myself because I realized something important. If I jumped in every time something isn't perfect, that coach never grows. And if that coach never grows, the business never grows. And that moment forced me to rethink what my role actually was. The big shift I had to make after thousands of hours on the field was this. My job was no longer to be the best coach in the session. My job was to develop other great coaches. That changes how you measure success. You don't start asking yourself, what did I accomplish today? You start asking, what did my team accomplish today? Because once you're building a coaching staff, your results come from collective performance. How confident your coaches become, how well they lead players, how well they represent the culture of your program. That's the real job. The lesson from 10,000 hours. After thousands of hours coaching players and building a team, the biggest lesson I've learned is this. Great coaching businesses are built by developing great people. Not just great athletes, great people. And one of the most powerful ways to develop people is through ownership. Instead of controlling every detail of your program, you start giving people responsibility. You give them ownership. One coach might take ownership of programming. Another coach might focus on content and helping grow the brand. Another coach might specialize in just goalkeeper development. And another coach might lead the younger groups and make sure they grow within the program. Now, they're not just assistants. They become leaders within the coaching business. They start thinking deeper about their role. They bring ideas, they solve problems, and they take pride in what they're building. And suddenly, the program grows faster than it ever could if one person controlled everything. It took me 6 years to learn this one skill, and that is patience. When you care deeply about what you're building, you move fast. You think about it consistently, and you want everything done perfectly. But you have to remember something important. Not everyone is you. Every coach is on their own development journey. The same way players take time to improve, coaches take time to improve too. Your job is not to expect perfection. Your job is to guide development. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that leadership is not about control. It's about influence. The best leaders don't force people to follow them. They become the type of person people want to follow. They build trust, they give people responsibility, and they help people grow. The exercise. If you're building a coaching business, try this exercise. Think about someone who led you well in your life. Maybe it was a coach, maybe it was a teacher, maybe it was a mentor. Think about that person you respected the most, the person you actually wanted to listen to, and ask yourself this: why did I respect that person? What qualities did they have, and how did they communicate? How did they make me feel when I was around them? Write those characteristics down. If you want help doing this, I actually made a simple worksheet for this exercise. You can download the PDF in the description below and work through it. Maybe they were patient. Maybe they believed in you. Maybe they pushed you to improve without making you feel small. Those traits are not random. That's leadership. Now ask yourself one more question. How can I become that type of leader for the people around me? Because if you're building a coaching business, your real job is not controlling people. Your real job is developing people. The final lesson. After about 10,000 hours on the field, here's what actually matters. The best coaches don't just develop players, they develop leaders. And when you build great people, a great team follows.